Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Brady Sr., giving you the OMFL News of the Dark. And yes, we have started it off. And let's get hyped. Let's get hyped. Hey, we have started the pre-patch season, and there's some scores and stuff that's updated. So let me regroup myself, and we'll be right back after this. But welcome to OMFL News After Dark, hosted by your boy, Brady Sr. Hey, what's good, everybody, man? It's your boy, Brady Sr., man, giving you the OMFL News at the Dark. And, yeah, bruh, we started. You feel me? We've gotten started. So it's week 1 in the pre-patch league. And, it looks like, if I go through the standings here, it looks like the Cowboys was able to get them a 37-35. It looks like the Seahawks was able to get them a win 17-10. The Saints was able to win 16-10 over their opponent. You had the Lions victorious 38-17. And then, of course, let's go to the AFC side, because those were the only games played. Those were only victors on the NFC side. AFC, you had the Dolphins win 24-14 over their opponent. It looks like you had the Browns get them a dub, 33-14, and then your boys, the Jacksonville Jaguars, ran by your boy, Brady Sr. We was able to get the dub. I'm gonna say it was 48-17 was the final, and boy, the league is on notice. B-Mo went off. Only 9 carries over 120 plus yards. I'm going to say he had 3 TDs. Oh, yeah. League on notice. League on notice. But anyway, man, let me know what you think about the sliders and everything so far. And we'll be right back after this to talk about some league leaders. Oh man, welcome back, man. It's your boy Brady Sr., man. Give me the OMFL News at the Dark. And, until we can get the Daddy Leagues, updated, I'm going to go ahead and give you some rundown of some of the top 25 action in NCAA football today. Number 19, Michigan was able to get them a win 20-13. Currently, you have number 15, BYU is up on South Florida, 28-6. You have Oregon Ducks, looks like in the second quarter, is up on Arizona, 24-10. You have Alabama was able to handle Southern Miss, 63-14. Georgia dominated Vanderbilt, 62-0. Oklahoma was able to squeak out a victory over West Virginia, 16-13. It looks like Iowa, number 5 Iowa, was able to get them a win, 24-14. You had Penn State survive Villanova, 38-17. Arkansas was able to upset number 7 Texas A&M, 20-10. And it looks like, man, the runner-up Well, I don't even say the runner-up because they got dethroned last year. But anyway, Clemson, number 9, upset by North Carolina State in OT. It looks like it went to double OT, 27-21. Ohio State was able to handle Akron after a minor scare early, 59-7. We also had Tennessee go down to number 11 Florida, 38-14. Notre Dame was able to handle Wisconsin, 41-13. Baylor upset Iowa State in shocking fashion, 31-29. And then it looks like Coastal Carolina was able to put a 50 piece on UMass, 53-3. Michigan State was able to get them a dub. Number 20 Michigan State was able to get the win, 23-20 over Nebraska. And then it looks like Georgia Tech upset number 22 or number 21 North Carolina, 45-22. And then Auburn was able to get the win, 34-24 over Georgia State. And then number 24 UCLA was able to beat Stanford, 35-24. Number 25, Kansas State was defeated by Oklahoma State, 31-20. And to wrap everything up, you have number 22, Fresno State gets the dub over UNLV, 38-30. So how did you? Let me know in the comments, man. How did your team look this week in NCAA action? We'll be right back after this, man. Peace. What's good, everybody, man? It's your boy Brady Senior, man. Give you the OMFL News at the Dark. And Daddy Leagues is updated. So let's go ahead and give you a rundown of some statistical leaders real quick. It looks like Dak Prescott leads all quarterbacks with 322 yards passing, 73 completion percentage, 1 TD, 2 interceptions, and 1 sack. Then, of course, at running back, you have Nick Chubb leading all rushers with 14 carries, 158 yards, 77 long, and 2 TDs. And then, And then, of course, you have receiving. You have CeeDee Lamb leading all receivers with 8 catches, 156 yards, 70-yard long TD, and then 79-yard reception, but no touchdowns. And then, of course, on the defensive side, you have Grady Jarrett leads all sack artists with 4 sacks, 4 tackles, and then that looks like all the stats he have. And then, of course, over here in the it looks like other defensive statistic leader, Anthony Hitchens leads all tacklers with 9. And then last but not least, you have the interception leaders. It's actually a 6-way tie for number 1 and 2 interceptions apiece between Ronnie Harrison with Cleveland, Diggs with Dallas, Hawkins with Atlanta, Henderson at Jacksonville, Williams in New Orleans Saints, and also Gardner Johnson in New Orleans. So let me know in the comments how you feel your teams are doing so far. And we'll be right back after this. Wrap this bitch up and send it over to Nate, who's back at motherfucking home to do the Press Pass Live. We'll be right back after this. Yeah. Hey, what's good, everybody, man? It's your boy Brady Senior, man. Give me the OMFL News at the Dark, and we are getting ready to talk about Game of the Week. So, Game of the Week was against the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers, and boy, let me tell you, Trey all day came to play. 38-17 was the final score. And let's talk about some of the honorable mentions in here. Trey Lance on the losing squad, 49ers. Trey Lance went 14 for 25, 205, 0 TDs and 1 pick. Mostert had 20 carries with 102 yards, 2 TDs. Kittle had 5 catches for 84 yards, no TDs. You had Hurst had 2 tackles and 2 sacks. For the winning squad, you had Montez, 10 for 16, 216, 3 TDs and no picks. Yeah, boy, y'all better watch out for that. Jay Williams had 7 rushes, 78 yards, and 1 TD. Hawkinson had 4 catches for 123 yards, 3 TDs, and Barnes had 6 tackles and 1 forced fumble. Looking at the team stats real quick, penalties, it looks like the 49ers had a couple penalties in this game, whereas the Lions had none. Turnovers, of course, 49ers had a couple, Lions had none. And then third down percentage, they both were at 50%. Red zone, they both were at 100%. Defensive red zone, they both were at 100%. On paper, man, this was, an even matchup. It was those 2 mistakes and the penalties were probably killers. So that's why you have what you have there in that outcome. But let me know in the comments, Trey and also Doug, man. Let me know in the comments, what went down in this matchup. What was the difference maker, man? But other than that, man, we are out of this motherfucker. We out of here. It is time to get over to grown folk, Nate, and Press Pass Live and everything that he has in store. He is now back at home, like I told you. And, yeah, man. Yeah, it's time. It's time to get, it's time to get Nate back up there. Time to get Nate back at the crib, man. So he's able to, kind of have a little bit of fun with us and talk to us a bit. But that's it. I'm out. I'm trying to get some. Oh, there we go. Trying to get it to work. Peace, love, and motherfucking red grease, man. I'm your boy Brady. Signing off. Until next week. Peace.
This is the OMFL.
You can't touch this.
And you're in the mix with Kinda Real Name. Here's another OMFL production.
We are back. Welcome to Press Pass Live, guys. I can't even begin to fully express what it means to be here right now, like right this minute. It has been a long 30 plus days since the last time I got to do this, and I was so excited that I had the opportunity to live stream, to see the chat, to be with Win, to talk about the OMFL, to forget about Hurricane Ida, to forget about damage, to forget about roofs and sheetrock work and walls that have to come down. Like, I just get to talk about the OMFL, and I get to be with you guys, and I just can't. It really is hard to fully express what it means to be here, and I appreciate you guys watching some of the old stuff. What's up, Mo? Man, I've missed you, Mo. I pray, Mo, that everything is good with you. Kobe, it's good to see you. Brady, thank you for doing Press Pass Live. I'm glad that the OMFL has started, Brady. Now you have some real things to talk about, man. I'm just glad. I am just so freaking glad to be here right now. We came back home on Friday, fully expecting to have no internet for 1 to 2 months. I call it a God story. You call it what you want. A Cox cable truck come pulling through my neighborhood. A neighbor, I was driving home that day on Friday. A neighbor a couple of doors down, seen the truck, ran out, connected with the guy. Who's super nice. She told him about the pole that's down in my backyard, brought him in my backyard. He's like, yeah, I think I can do something. And within like 3 hours, all of a sudden, randomly, we were just sitting here and my wife goes, wait a second, the cable box shows the time. I was like, well, turn it on. And it was on. And then to make a story even better, literally 26 seconds later, electricity went out for 4 hours. But I was totally cool with it because that's the way it's working in our lives right now. It's up and it's down. It's up and it's down. They take it down. They fix a few more things. They put it back up. And if that's what they got to do, I don't care. Driving through the city still, it is complete devastation around here. And it's just crazy. For my buddy Wynn, who's here with me tonight, he's not saying anything because I told him I was going to need a minute to kind of gather myself. I fully expected to start crying. I've had many cry days over the past month, but Wynn could relate. Anyone who lives in the South could totally relate. But hurricanes are pretty devastating. This hurricane I think is going, by the time they kind of finish doing all their research, I think will be the strongest hurricane to ever hit the United States ever in history, at least in recorded history. And 120 miles an hour, steady, gust of up to 230 miles an hour, and it just stayed over us for 12 hours. So imagine what that might look like, and that's what it looks like outside. My wife and I literally cleaned just the yard 2 different times, 5 hours each time. That's not a joke. That's literally what it took. We spent 5 hours on Saturday. I'm going to be pulling shingles out of my grass for the next 6 years, but I'm here and I'm excited. No more hurricane talk. I'm so stoked, and I'm saying stoked because I see Mo put stoked. I don't use the word stoked, but Mo, I'm using the word stoked. I am happy. I'm overjoyed. I'm overwhelmed that I'm here with you. I'm looking at the chat. I'm home. It's livable. And I'm just like, I'm blown away. So no more sappy stuff. Wynn, welcome to Press Pass Live, buddy. We have started. Season 97 is underway.
We're live, right? We're live, right?
We're live. That's what they say.
We didn't go down. Okay, we didn't go back down again, right? Okay.
No.
I just it's been a little bit since we've gotten a chance to do a little tete-a-tete talk back and forth on these. So it's kind of good to be back in the flow a little bit. And now the last time we talked, we were struggling to find content, and now we have some content to talk about because, yeah, you're right. We started season 97 after a little bit of some bumps in the road as far as like setting up calculators and forms and all that fun stuff that nobody likes to talk about except bored people and nerds like me. But we're ready. We're going, and hopefully everybody's kind of getting the new concepts and getting the new ideas and moving forward.
Yeah, man. Just so everybody knows, internet, as you can expect, is not like totally 100% fixed. I think they said it's another week before everybody is even up, and then they got to come and start making everybody steady. So you may see this thing drop from time to time. I apologize, but man, overall, I got good strength and we're live. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start talking about season 97 because it is here. All kinds of new stuff has happened, man. Wynn has just busted his tail. This is how conversations with poor Wynn have went. He comes up, we come up with an idea. He gives me version 1 and I go, but what if? and he laughs at me and tells me to jump out a window. And if I want to do it, go do it. And then an hour later, he's already done it, and it's better than I want it in the first place. And it's just, that's how the calculator has worked. That's how the position changes work. That's how everything has worked. But I just want to give a shout out to my guy, Win. Just all of the hard work on the calculator, which I think is superb. I know some of you don't love it, but I think you will grow to love it. I think you will see that it is a very good, it's something that's manageable. Rob done such an amazing job for us, but with us not having X factors and like all the stuff, we need something simpler on the back end that we could edit, and that, you know, someone that had some knowledge could edit without just like Rob being the only human that could ever edit it, because maybe one day Rob won't play here, and I hope that day never comes, but all of us one day won't be here. And so I was trying to create a tool that was easily manageable and adjustable to whatever we did and could grow with us, and the old tool really just couldn't do that. This one can. I love the new position farm. It opens up everything for you guys. You can really do whatever it is that you want to do, and I think it just opens up a lot of cool doors. And then we'll get to some of the new stuff, but new chats, new forums, things I feel like are just so much easier to find. But I want to talk about some of these games. We're going to talk about snapshots. We're going to talk about some of the games that kind of happen already. I just want to see what Wynn's initial thoughts are. We are adding an extra minute to the games because we see the games are a little bit too quick, and so an extra minute should get us right where we want to get. And then finally, we're going to give some predictions. We're going to run through it really quick and see if we can't give some predictions. Looks like that Green Bay game is really good. So let's get over here and let's look at some things. Look at this. Things are working. Things feel good. We're back. It just feels good. I added some new things here, like we can go left to right. So I'm going to be changing some stuff, like as we kind of go through here. We'll probably keep hopping back and forth. I will probably change it up a whole bunch just to kind of keep things where they are, but it should be a ton of fun. I hope that you really enjoy it. So let's go ahead and look at some snapshots. This is one of my favorite things when I added it as an incentive so we can get some more content. Now, it just kicked off today, so there's no new content yet, but you can take snapshots of your game. Now, the master of this was our guy Maniac. He always took great snapshots, and I did it for my game, but I didn't do it right. And I learned what I did wrong, and I'm going to fix it for next week. But we've got some great snapshots here. 2nd and 7 on the New York Giants 19, a 62-yard rush by Adrian Peterson as the Giants take down the Carolina Panthers today. This was a fun game to watch. It was just fun to see Tim stick to that game plan. And if you watch this at all, especially from the Carolina Panthers point of view, I have no clue how he plays with that camera view. He plays with the one zoomed all the way in, and I was like, I don't know how anyone plays with that camera. Wynn, did you catch any of this game today?
I did not
said
catch
Giants. I meant Jets.
Panthers.
My bad.
Don't worry, I was going to catch you.
Day drinking. I got to stop.
You know what? You deserve a little day drinking after your weekend. So, but Jets Panthers. I think I caught the final score was like, I believe it was 28 or 23 to 10. I know I talked to Tim behind the scenes because I was trying to get a little bit of a deal working for a running back. We couldn't make anything work, but the way that he spoke to me and the way I interpreted it is he's very much I will run everyone that's in my roster. Everyone's going to get a touch. Everyone's going to run the ball. And as you can see, like the 4,000-year-old Adrian Peterson manages to get 62 yards and a touchdown there, and a good win for the Jets, and a good start because they need to get some wins together and get some confidence because they don't have a lot of talent on that roster. But a win early in the season will definitely give you a little bit of a boost going forward. So.
Our next snapshot was 2nd and goal for Cincinnati. 1-yard rush touchdown by Alexander Madison, who in real life today had a spectacular game from at least the red zone that I was flip-flopping back and forth between the Saints game. He punches it in for a touchdown. I didn't get to see this, but it does not surprise me. Maniac runs the ball, man, and running the ball like that is going to set up his quarterback. I haven't looked at his stats just yet, but I'd love to see what his rookie quarterback did. Maybe Maniac, you could tell us in the chat, but that seemed to be a good game. I don't even know who won that game. I'm trying to look at the news right here.
Minnesota Vikings won 25-19. I looked. Thank God it's only one game in the standings right now, so I can quickly figure that out. And his rookie quarterback went 15 of 21, 289 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception on the day.
There you go, Maniac. Maniac building.
Justin Jefferson was very happy with the new quarterback. He had 7 receptions for 153 yards and a touchdown.
Is that guy a stud or what?
Yeah, Justin Jefferson's a beast. Like in real life and obviously in Madden, but in real life, definitely.
3rd and 2 in the Dallas 28. Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb for 70 yards as Dallas takes down Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is one of the teams when I'm really interested to see how they play. He's had a lot of real life things going on. He was like right there pushing for OMFL bowls and then kind of took a step back. So it's going to be interesting to see how he moves into Madden 22. But is Dallas like the team or what? Like this, just Dwayne just continues to roll Madden after Madden.
Well, I didn't watch this game, but I did hear about it in the chat and the way it sounded. I believe the final ended up being like 38-35 or 37-35 was the final. And it seemed like, I guess, whoever had the ball last was going to win. And I'm assuming Big Hurt actually put up some decent offensive numbers. I've got Dallas's numbers pulled up, and Dak Prescott went for over 300 yards. Had a touchdown, but he had 2 interceptions. CeeDee Lamb, that snapshot you had, he had 8 receptions total on the day for 156 yards for the Cowboys. So CeeDee Lamb had a pretty decent game, I would say. Let me see if we can pull up the Buck stats real quick. Tom Brady went 17 of 23 for 254 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he also had 3 interceptions. So I'm guessing, not looking at much of the other stats, 1 more interception than Dak Prescott threw on the day. So that probably was the clincher there, is the turnover battle. If you lose the turnover battle, it's awful hard to win games against anybody, much less a guy that contended and I believe won this season 96 OMFL Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Dwayne did, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So against I guess you would say the defending OMFL Bowl champion, you can't make a whole lot of mistakes or else they'll make you pay. But clearly, Big Hurt's still got some talent that is not gone. He may be a little rusty, but if this is him rusty, basically losing by 2 to the guy who won the OMFL Bowl last year, I'd hate to see him polished and shiny.
2 shockers to me. The Titans and Little Koch take down Arizona. It was a CPU game, as I later learned. And then I think the biggest shocker is Kansas City falling to Cleveland 33-14. But the stat of the day for me here is Tyreek Hill, 3 receptions, 148 yards, and a touchdown. I'd have to say that guy was going deep time and time again. This looked like a good game, though. 14-7 lead for Cleveland going into half. He comes out in the 3rd quarter, puts this game away. 12 points, allows 0 points. They both score 7 in the 4th quarter to lead to a 33-14 victory for Cleveland. I think this one was at Cleveland. Baker Mayfield, a superb day. I think he was 107.8 QBR, 14 of 21 with a touchdown, no interceptions. But Patrick Mahomes picked off 5 times, a 57.9 QBR. Nick Chubb, 14 carries for 158 and 2 touchdowns. Edwards-Helaire actually played pretty good, 8 for 43, just not enough carries, but he did average 5.4 yards per carry. And then Tyreek Hill with those crazy numbers that he put up. So just a crazy first game that I didn't expect to see from the Kansas City Chiefs. But you got to tip your hat, right? The Cleveland Browns came out, made a statement, and to open up season 97, you take down what was the guy in Madden 21 in week 1. That's impressive.
Well, and also too, the Browns were the road team there.
Oh, okay.
So they actually went to
even more impressive.
GEHA at Arrowhead, as it's now called, and beat essentially a very, very good elite level Chiefs squad. The real life Chiefs are struggling out of the gate, and apparently Penguins and the OMFL Chiefs are struggling a little bit out of the gate. But I don't see that holding him back. I feel like in the next week or two, I feel like Penguins kind of flips the switch, and I would not want to be the Chiefs week 2 or week 3 opponents, because I feel like he is going to take vengeance upon them.
Yeah, he's going to get this thing figured out, and he is going to be one hell of a team to have to worry about and mess around with. So good luck to anybody who's got to figure that team out. Where do they hide standings now?
Are you talking about on Madden?
Yeah, I just realized,
I believe if you go to the league tab.
Yeah, schedule, stats and awards, maybe under stats. No.
Try maybe square to view schedule.
Let's see here. Figuring this out together, friends. No, nope. That's going to give me...
Hit. I was going to say, unfortunately, your image is currently in the way of the menu.
Here, we'll do this. Main tab, square.
Yeah.
Oh, view stand. There it is. Thank you, guys. All right, let's go ahead and run through some predictions. This will be fun because I usually do these with either Maniac or by myself, or Dwayne used to do these with me. So your new fresh set of eyes. This should be a lot of fun to put on. Let's start with the AFC North. We got the Bengals and Denbrew, the Browns and Massimo, Ravens and Nipples, and the Steelers is going to be Clyde. Now he's not playing right now, so we're actually going to take him kind of off the board. He's still trying to get a PS5. He's got to get it from Best Buy, so we need offerings and prayers and candles lit and anything that you can do so that Clyde can get him a PS5 from Best Buy, because the poor guy has been killing himself trying to do that. What do you see happening here in the AFC North? We're going to flip-flop. I'll go first next time. You'll go first the time after. Blah, 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 blah. You get it. What do you see happening in the AFC North?
This is a division I don't know a ton about. So I'm going to go by team setups. I do know that the Browns made a trade with the Cowboys to pick up some picks, I believe. But I feel like the Browns have the most talent on paper. The Ravens would be a close second. I'm not familiar with Nipple and how well he plays. But I do know that he just got himself another cornerback, and he's very deep at cornerback now. He's got Humphrey. He's now got not Westry. He's got Rock Ya-Sin now from the Colts. He's got a couple other guys there. He's really, really deep at corner. I mean, he goes 4 deep at corner. And that's always a good thing, especially in Madden, when you can run cornerbacks 3 and 4 deep that have some skill and some speed. So I think the Browns-Ravens is kind of like up at the top. I'm sorry, Denbrew, but you are the Bengals, so I have to put you down there at third. And without an owner for the Steelers, obviously you're not going to say anything about them. But between the three teams that have owners right now, I'd probably go Browns and Ravens fighting it out for top spot. I give it to the Browns, and then the Bengals kind of taking up third.
Yep, I tend to want to agree with you. I do think that the Browns have potential, but he's got to show me something. Nibbles is probably the best team when he's able to focus, but because of work and life, he's not always able to focus. Denbrew, he's going to be studied. He's going to get this team figured out. He's going to get Madden figured out. I'm actually going to take and venture out and just go with my heart here. I'm going to take the Bengals to win the division, with my little bit of an asterisk that I know that I could be wrong, is if Nipples is able to focus and put time. That guy was in the OMFL Bowl. Every time he was able to focus, he's unstoppable at times on that defensive side. And you just said it. You gave him more defensive pieces. It could be even murder's row for anybody facing that defense. So Browns also with Massimo, impressive first win. But you got to show me something. Let me see this through 16 weeks, 17 weeks now, I should say. Let's see you do it for a season. Give me Bengals, Browns in second, Ravens in third. But all three of those guys are going to fight that out. And when Clyde gets back, boy, you better watch out. Clyde's going to be itching to play. It's been so long, and he's going to be right back. AFC South, we got the Colts, the Jaguars, the Texans, and the Titans. Every one of you got to play. Colts fall 10-17 in a tough-fought game, and I'm telling you, those are going to be the scores all year long for win. That's what he does. He makes you play ugly, and if you play too ugly, he's going to snap one away from you. Jaguars win 48-17, and boy, he had his chest puffed out on OMFL News. If you missed it, go back and watch it. And then you got the Texans, the worst roster that you possibly could ask for. So Brady, before you go puffing those little chicken feathers out with that chest of yours, just know that you played the worst roster in the game. And then you got the Titans at 1-0, 18-13 victory over the CPU, but still an impressive victory for Little Koch as he tries to rebuild and pick up the legacy, the mantle, so to speak, that Dawson left behind after having a baby and not able to continue with us in Madden 22. I see this one playing out as the Jaguars is the number 1 team, the Colts number 2, but those guys are going to go back and forth because the Jaguars quite literally are going to be all or nothing. Life kicks in, basketball kicks in. He's the busiest dude in the whole world. He may not have time to really focus on his team. When he's focused, though, he can put up these kinds of scores on you. We already hear BMO's putting everybody on notice in the league. He took him after the flip-flop back and forth. He finally took that guy over here. He's got a loaded offense, but can that defense continue to go? You gave up 17 points to the worst roster in the league. Just know that. We'll spit it out. Texans just have a very high bar. It's going to take him 2 seasons, but I do know he's going to take it and turn it around. Little Koch has a lot to show me with what he's got with the Titans. He just struggled in Madden 21, and he's got a lot to build, but he's a great drafter. He really knows how to focus. I keep saying Little Koch, but I have a feeling it's Sniper. Which is it? Somebody correct me in the chat. Is it Sniper or Little Koch that has the Titans? I'm getting them flip-flopped in my head. I'm taking the Jaguars to win. I think the Colts are going to be right on his heel. The Colts could win this division. Don't laugh. And then I like the Titans for 3 and the Texans in 4. And that's right, Win. I'm going to make you call your own division.
Oh, well, that's easy enough. You are day drinking if you think the Colts are second in this division. You are day drinking. You need to have an intervention is what you need to have. If you think the Colts are, you clearly. I observed all that Week 1 matchup. That 17-10 score is not near as close as 17-10. The Seahawks dominated time of possession. They dominated the line of scrimmage. They ran the ball down the Colts' throats. I mean, Russell Wilson couldn't miss a pass if he tried. I think he was blindfolded at some point just to prove a point. Couldn't miss DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. The Colts, the 10 points was a late touchdown. I think Bill felt sorry for me, so he let me have the touchdown. The Colts, the Jags will probably be the class of the division just because the Texans are just bad. The roster's bad, and his thing he's been trying to trade Deshaun Watson due to the new cap penalty rules. He can't trade him, so he is stuck with Deshaun Watson. So he's got to find some other way to build up his roster. I know he made a deal to move Phillip Lindsay, which is a good player, to the Jets for some picks and some assets. That's a good move. His big prime piece, though, he can't move, so he's going to have to build. He's really going to have to build around Deshaun Watson and try and get that team going moving forward. And like you said, I think the Texans are definitely not tanking, but they're going to do the best they can with the roster they got. They're just going to be at the bottom of that division. I think because the user is just that god-awful, the Colts will be third, and then the Titans will probably be second, probably be hovering around 500 with with King Henry and Tannehill and Jones and Brown. They've got a lot of offensive weapons in Tennessee. Don't sleep on the Titans. They have a ton of offensive weapons, and if Little Koch can get those pieces running and rolling, he could be very dangerous. But the Jags are going to win that division. I'm just gonna inflate Brady's ego just that much more. He's probably gonna not necessarily run away with the division, but he's probably going to be about 3 or 4 games up on it when all is said and done. So,
Brady May, show me something in the playoffs. That's what you're going to have to show me, and I'm not buying any
playoffs.
I'm not buying any of that Colts talk. You held one of the best offensive rosters in this league to 17 points against Bill, who's got a great defensive plan. You're going to be just fine. In the AFC East, we got the Bills and Outlaw. No owner. Outlaw's PlayStation's coming in soon. Fingers crossed. At least that's what he's hoping for. We got Dolphins and Ross 1-0 with a big 24-14 victory. Jets and Tim, we talked about him a little earlier. He played tonight, 23-10 victory. And then the Patriots, and that one is lost 14-24 as he falls to the Miami Dolphins. How do you see the AFC East playing out?
Well, again, we're going to leave the Bills off of this conversation, but I think once Outlaw will get in there, that Bills team has a lot of talent, but I know he struggles a little bit with offensive production. So, but leaving the Bills out of the conversation, just talking Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, I feel like Ross, being a Dolphins fan, from what I understand, that's going to help him in this division. I think that just having that passion for the team that you own in the OMFL will help you get a couple of wins. It will frustrate you at times because you may not want to trade players that you probably should trade, or vice versa. But I think from a standpoint, I believe of the 3 teams I'm going to talk about, I believe the Dolphins would be up there at the top of the division. I think the Patriots bounce back, but the 2 other teams in this division that we'll talk about, Jets, Patriots, both have young rookie quarterbacks. It's a matter of, do those owners, can they get those young rookie quarterbacks up to speed? The Jets are going to have a tougher time with a lack of weapons. The Patriots have more weaponry. I know they've got those 2 tight ends, Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. They signed in free agency over the offseason in real life. So 2 tight end sets might be a little bit interesting for the Patriots, depending on how they work their offensive scheme. Patriots definitely have the better personnel on defense versus the Jets. So I'd probably go Dolphins 1, Patriots being a very close 2, and then Jets kind of bringing up the rear. But that's not to say that he's going to be bad. I think he's going to sneak up on some folks like he did, week 1, getting a 23-10 victory. I think if folks sleep on the Jets, he will sneak up on them and punch them in the mouth, and that's always a good thing to have as a skill set with a team that's got lower overalls.
Impressive.
I'm going to give you the winner chicken dinner gift here, because I do think that the Dolphins are going to win this division. I think he has the most well-rounded team that fits his type of style. He's been with his team the longest. I do think, though, that Jets are going to be right there. Now, I think he's got some holes he's got to figure out. Adrian Peterson, Tim, being your number 1 running back, I don't know if that's going to get you where you want to be exactly, but I think your game plan is going to be solid. I really like Wilson, your quarterback. I think, though, that it could, until you kind of find your footing, it could lead you to trying to make some plays that maybe you shouldn't be trying to make with him, but it should be a really fun one. And look, Sniper is one of my favorite humans here. Just like, I love his spirit. I love everything about him as a human. He's just a good dude. Like, he's the kind of guy you need 31 of them to build an outstanding league with. He's just kind of jumped head into the board for both the Deuce and the OMFL. Just been an awesome dude. One of the top drafters, taking over a young roster, but still learning how to win in this league. And that takes time. I've been here for 21 years, the longest. I've only won 1 bowl here, so you can imagine how hard it is. So I do like the Dolphins to win this division. I do think the Jets are going to be hot on their tail. Patriots are going to win some games. They're probably going to lose a majority of them this year, because he's got to build his quarterback up. Look for him to make a move for next year. And then poor Outlaw is going to be probably way too behind the 8 ball by the time he actually gets this one. AFC West, we got the Broncos, and who's now? Bloop is the Broncos now. We got Colin and the Chargers with a super impressive victory. I watched about a half of that game, and I got so out of hand. I just kind of felt bad. Out of hand games make me nervous as a commish. I don't know what they made you feel like, Win, or Mo, if you're still in here, but blowout games make me nervous because I know when that game ends, it's going to go one of two ways. Either I'm going to get a message of a very upset owner about some FPR stuff, or B, I'm going to start getting the cold shoulder by an owner who's just sick of the game already and ready to go. Like, I just get nervous with blowout games. But Colin with a big blowout victory over Rob and his Washington football team. And then we got Penguins and the Chiefs and the J-Bows and the Raiders. One of the more interesting rosters, I think, in the entire OMFL. So I think this is going to be a really fun division. One of the more competitive divisions. The shocker again is a 14-33 loss by Penguins and the Chiefs. He's going to get things turned around. He's going to get things figured out. I do think he's going to be able to figure out exactly what he needs to do to win here. Give me the Chiefs to win this division. Colin hot on his tail. Give Bloop a year. He's going to have to figure out the quarterback situation. Teddy Bridgewater in real life, give him all day, any day. In Madden, that's going to be a tougher sell. And Drew Lock probably is going to need some work. Jay Bowles is the wild card in this entire division because that guy could win twin games. What am I talking about? 12 games is the word I'm trying to spit out. Or he could win 2 games. That's what happens when you mix those words all together. You don't know what Jay Bowles is going to do. Give me Penguins to win it. Give me the Chargers to be hot on his heel. Give me Bloop to be right there with those three, really battling it out at least through 3/4 of the season. I think the Raiders are going to come in last, but he could surprise everybody. How do you see the AFC West playing out?
I'm gonna actually flip-flop your number 1, number 2. I think Colin and the Chargers in that passing attack. I think passing in this game is crucial to success, and if you're good at passing the ball, you will have a lot of success no matter what. And I think Colin, from the way I understand it, Colin does that. Not to say that Penguins doesn't, but I think the Chiefs have a brutal schedule coming out the gate facing as far as the teams they face. So you lose a couple of games early, it's going to be real hard to turn that thing around. Now they do start getting some more softer competition as far as teams, as far as overalls on those teams. I know I saw like the Eagles is coming up on his schedule for the Chiefs, so they're going to have some not, I don't want to say cupcake because that's not the right word, but they're going to have some games that should be winnable games on the roster. But I think those first couple of weeks, because they're going to face the Chargers, I believe week 2 or 3. No, they'll face them week 3. They face the Ravens next week, so they've got Ravens next week and then Chargers the week after that. If they could potentially go 0-3 out the gate to start out, and that's going to be tough to come back. It's doable in Madden. But I think it's going to be too much to overcome, and that'll put the Chargers at least at 2-1 after 3 games with my prediction. So I think Chargers win the division in this. I think the Chiefs will end up on their heels because I think he's just too good to stop. I think Bloop is going to be about 500. 9-8, 8-9, somewhere around there, because he's going to be starting Colin Kaepernick, from what I understand. He is basically looking to draft a quarterback in this first draft. He is looking to get rid of every quarterback that is on his roster currently. He's basically limping through this season to get a quarterback to build around for the future. So Jameis I think Winston. He's going to try.
Throwing it out there, Blue.
I think he's happy with Colin Kaepernick, actually, but I don't know that for a fact. I know he picked him up in free agency. But I think Bloop is with that roster and that talent base, I think the worst he'll do in that division is like 500. And the Raiders, I'm not familiar with the Raiders and how they play. So I'm going to put them at the bottom of the division, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be bad. I think they'll probably be in that 6-7 win range, maybe higher. But 6-7 wins is about where I put the Raiders at, that's a tough division.
It is the play that explains how I felt about watching the Chargers and the Washington football team. There's like 5 or 6 seconds left in the half. Chargers are kind of having their way in the first half. I think it's like I need to do the math, which I can't do this late. It's like 24-0. He throws up a Hail Mary, catches it in the very, very back of the end zone. I'm talking about like millimeters of toes in the end zone, and catches it on a 1-on-1 for a touchdown to end the half and go. And I was just like, Oh, I got to turn this off because I don't want to look at Discord for the next few hours because I don't know what's going to happen. Let's look at the NFC North. We got the Bears and Smash. Smash, good to see you in here tonight, buddy. Good to see you, Bill. The Lions and Trey, who's trying to talk down his team. He put 38 points, and someone said with a 55 overall quarterback. I have no clue who you're playing, Lions. Trey, you got to say who you're playing over here, but that's freaking unbelievable. Then you got Priest and the Packers, who literally threw 6 picks. Priest, it felt like you weren't even trying to make a read. You just wanted to throw it deep and let it fly. And boy, you were doing that. And then we got Maniac and his Vikings. This is a fun division. If you don't remember some of the history, you will see some of the history. And that is that every draft Smash comes on, we talk about his division because Smash won this division like 10 years in a row when no one wanted to win it. I think we had a 7-9 team win it one year. And then all of a sudden this division got real competitive. And now it's real competitive with Trey and with Maniac over there. And there's always a lot of trash talk that happens in the NFC North. I can't remember whose turn is it. It's your turn. That's right. So how do you see the NFC North playing out?
Well, before I start that, Steven Montez went 10 of 16 for 216 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And yes, Steven Montez is a second-year quarterback out of Colorado, 24 years old, who is a 55 overall. So yeah, he did that with a 55 overall player. So Trey, if you're listening, which I see you in the chat, take your malarkey, take it on down the road. I want you to take it on down the road. I want you to try and sell it to somebody else who's buying it because this cat here is not buying it. Smash, you and I have had some chats and DMs, and we've had a lot of good football talk as far as chats go. I don't think you're winning this division. I think you'll be in contention for it, but I don't think you're going to win it. I think it's Trey's division to lose because if we'll go 38-17 with a 55 overall quarterback with 87 throw power, and like basically I believe his highest accuracy was short accuracy at like 75. Yeah, 75. He's got 75, 69, 66 as far as his accuracy ratings. If he can do that with that kind of quarterback, just imagine when he gets a quarterback.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, so Trey's winning the division, and if he's in the chat, I'm going to mute him if I could. He just needs to shush. Okay.
Wait, is he not playing golf out of spite? Why would you not play him? You have him.
Well, I know he wants to trade him, but the problem is with our cap penalties, he can't trade him. So
why would you play? Why would you play a worse player?
To make a statement. I mean,
that's a D-money thing right there.
I mean, basically, he just beat. I don't know who he played week 1, but he basically won by 19 points with a 55 overall quarterback that any one of us poor SAP users couldn't hit water from the beach with. He ends up going 10 of 16 with. So. Yeah. I feel like, okay, so Trey wins the division. I think the Vikings and Bears kind of gobble each other up, and I love Priest's enthusiasm, but the chuck it and pray routine will not work. I'm sorry, you can
Nope.
the Hail Mary will not work, especially with the way that receivers react right now. Unless you just catch somebody in a cover 0, there's no way you're going to be getting any deep shots against any sort of safety over the top, because those safeties just react ridiculously quick compared to the wide receivers. So unless the Packers develop some kind of more methodical offense, which I don't think is in the Packers vocabulary from the little bit I've seen him play and interact with him, it seems like West Coast offense is like a 4-letter word to him. And so it's literally like, okay, here's our route tree, guys. It's just a straight arrow. Just go there, and there's an end zone down there, and I'm gonna throw it down there, and you guys go catch it. That works in backyard football. That doesn't work too much in OMFL with better owners. I love him. I love his enthusiasm, but I think the Packers end up draglining the division. I think they're in last. I see the Vikings probably in third. It's going to be close between them and the Bears, but I'll give the nod to Smash and the Bears at second. And I think the Lions easily run away with it. I see them 12, 13 wins and contending for a number 1 seed in the NFC.
He just said Maniac in third place. Just want to let that soak in. Not suck in. Don't suck it in. Just soak it in. Wow. Okay. I'm interested to see the Bears. I have no clue what he's going to do with this roster, with this game. Zero clue. I do think the Vikings will win this division with my caveat. And I'm saying this because I don't know, Trey, that you can keep it up with a 55 over a quarterback. And if you can't trade for one, sooner or later you're going to put Goff in. And I think if you do, you're going to be unstoppable. Here's the scary part about the Lions is they have all of those draft picks from the Rams. And I love Shocks, but unless Shocks puts it all together, and we've never seen him do that here, those are going to be high picks. And that is very scary to see Trey have all those picks and this team right here that just won 38-17. So my caveat is if he starts Goff, I think Trey runs away with the division. If he doesn't, and he continues to try to do a D-money, and there's very few D-moneys in the world. Trey, you're awesome. You're top. I stand by it. D-Money could be a professional player on the circuits, making millions of dollars, and could be a YouTube star playing Madden. Like, he's that level good. And we all know that, right? He's on another level than the rest of us. He's like a cat who plays with a toy when he plays with us. He's just like, this is fun. Let me smash you real quick. Okay, that wasn't so much fun. Let me keep you alive so you keep playing with me. That's the money. So anyway, give me the Vikings. I think with that roster, it needs some work. It ain't finished, but he's got the rookie quarterback that he's going to build up. He's got a pretty good running game, an aging roster. So this is kind of the time to make that run. Give me the Vikings to win it. Trey's going to be right there on his anus hole. I do think, though, if Goff steps in, Trey runs away with it. And then I'm just interested to see what the Bears. I think the Bears are going to come in third, but he could totally blow me away. Like, his quarterback could take off, and he could just, like, put it all together with that running game, that defense. Like, I just don't know. He's the wild card. I've said it time and time again. I'll say it again. If Priest would chill out and stop just trying to bombs away Brett Favre it down the field every single drive, he would win more games than he lost here. He would be above 500. He'd be in contention and make the playoffs more seasons than not. He just can't get it. He can't. Once a riverboat dealer, always a riverboat dealer. He just can't do it. He just cannot get rid of it. And so I think he's going to come in last. We're going to move to the NFC South. We got the Buccaneers and Big Hurt. We got Kobe. I see you, Kobe. Hope everything is well, Kobe. And the Falcons. And then you got the new guy, Panther Nation and the Panthers. And then me and my Saints. Can't take a lot away from my game. I played this before we came home. He really wanted to play. He didn't want to play the CPU. I had no clue where I was coming home to. So I played on my father-in-law, literally 1.5 download speeds and 0.5 upload speeds. Imagine what that's like to try to play on. We played it. He was a big boy. Priest hung in there. I won because I picked him off 6 times. That's the only reason I won. 2 of those, I think, went for pick sixes. I could do nothing on offense. I was pressing buttons 6 and 7 times. I was taking sacks because I couldn't get it was impossible to play on my end, but Priest really wanted to do it. And I was kind of hoping he'd win because I felt bad for him. So don't take anything from that game. Big Hurt losing 35-37 to one of the best teams here. Boy, it raises some eyebrows. I like Big Hurt to win this division. I think the Falcons are going to be right on his tail, though. Kobe's a very good player. He's doing some I don't actually know who your quarterback is, Kobe. I know that you got rid of Matt Ryan, or at least you're trying to, in the process of getting rid of Matt Ryan, because I've seen that you did the whole bonus thing so you could cut him. So it just makes things interesting to see what exactly you're going to do at quarterback. But 34-9, I mean, my goodness, what are you going to say about that? Panther Nation, I do think he'll come in last. Give me the Buccaneers to win this. Falcons right on his heel, though. Those two teams going back and forth. My Saints in third, Panthers Nation in fourth. He'll learn how to play here, though. Oh, he's playing Felipe Franks. There you go, Kobe. Ooh, that's why I think the Buccaneers are going to win this division. Win, how do you see this division playing out?
I don't think there's much I can add to that statement. Kobe's got to be a really good player because the failed clowns are absolutely horrendous.
They are bad.
As far as their roster. I mean, you've got Calvin Ridley, who's at best a high-end number 2, low-end 1 receiver. That's your top number 1 receiver by a long shot. I mean, you've got dregs after that as far as wide receivers go. I mean, you got Matt Ryan, who I know you just said he adjusted his bonus.
He's got Felipe. Oh, Bobby, Win, come back. Hopefully Win will come right back. I think he's got the YouTube up, so I know he's hearing all this. So he's playing Felipe Franks at 59 overall. We'll give Win a couple more seconds. That's an interesting move there, Kobe. That's gutsy. That's ballsy. Trey pointing up to him and saying, reason for me using 55 overall. I don't understand either one of those unless I don't understand either one of those. Well, come back, Win. Unlost your connection. So we'll see Win get back in here. He said, oh, there he is. Oh, no, that's Trey. He's joined the voice chat. I don't know why Trey joined the voice chat, but I guess he's just going to listen to me. He said he didn't have a whole lot to go with. I do think the Bucs have the better roster here. The Falcons, that's a tough roster. If you're going to play 59 over a quarterback, I mean, kudos for you that week 1. Impressive. But people are going to figure that out, and that's going to be tough to continue to win. My team is a little just kind of up in the air, and we'll just see what happens. There's Win. Win, finish off that thought before you exit at stage left.
Well, you know what happens whenever you leave your controller not moving for an hour and your PlayStation is set to turn off in an hour?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it until I was middle thought, and then it just shut off. I'm like, what the heck happened? And then I hit the button. I'm like, oh, it's been an hour. That's what happened. All right. So as I was saying with the NFC South, I think it's going to come down to it's going to be essentially Bucs are going to be number 1, Falcons are going to be number 2, just because I don't know how they're going to be number 2 with that roster. I feel like the Saints might be able to edge number 2 if they can figure out how to beat the fail clowns. But Nate's, you're still trying to figure out how you're going to make that roster a little younger and more manageable for you. But you've got a good quarterback in McCarthy. You've definitely got the weapons as far as Kamara and Thomas go. So you've got offensive line for days. So I feel like you'll be okay in that regard. It's just putting it all together and beating 2 really good owners in Big Hurt and Kobe. But I'll put you in third, but it'll be a close third. And then new guy Panthers is just going to kind of take his lumps because that Panthers team is not very good. Hopefully maybe with a draft or 2 they'll be able to build it up and get it going.
Let's move over to the last one. No, 2 more. Cowboys and D. Wayne, NFC East. Cowboys and D. Wayne, cream of the crop here in the OMFL. Kevin, our old buddy Kevin, coming back over, taking over the Eagles, Rob, and the Washington football team. I always brag on Rob because I really do believe he is much better than the way that game played out in the Pepper and his Giants. This one is going to be interesting. Some big personalities in this league or in this conference, and some really it's just some really good players that either super hot or super cold or just dominant. So how do you see this one playing out?
Well, I think as much as it pains me to talk good about a Cowboys team because I can't stand the Dallas Cowboys in real life, I feel like this is the Cowboys division to lose. You look at the other 3 teams in the division, I don't feel like they have the personnel on hand at this point to contend. The Eagles are definitely in full rebuild mode. I feel for Kevin because I briefly almost had a lapse of sanity and took over the Eagles and offered to take over the Eagles, and then I looked at it, I'm like, no, I don't want to play Dwayne twice. No, I'm staying where I'm at. So, but the Eagles, that's a tough division with a very, very tough squad. So I will pick the Eagles to be the basement dwellers, not because of anything Kevin does or doesn't do. It's just he's got a big hole to climb out of.
Yeah.
I feel like the football team will probably come in third. I think Rob's a pretty solid player. He's got a really good defense. I know he traded some pieces earlier, but I think overall he's still got a really, really good defense, but no quarterback. I mean, Ryan Fitzmagic. I mean, in real life he's magical, but in this game he is just slightly below average. So I think quarterback play is going to hurt him in the long run, unless he can make a trade for a quarterback. Then give me the Giants by default in the second spot. I don't think they have a quarterback either. I think Danny Dimes isn't the answer in New York, and I think Pepper knows that. So he's basically trying to stack that running back room by getting Nyheim Hines along with Saquon Barkley. He called it Barkley insurance for the contract he's going to have to get because he knows he's going to have to offer him it's a 7-year offer that's on the table for Barkley. That's what he wants in a test franchise for I think it's just shy of a crap ton of money, so it's going to be expensive. So I think the Giants finish second by default, but I think the Cowboys run away with the division. I could see them. I'll actually I'll go bold prediction. Cowboys are the first team to clinch their division in season 97.
Yeah, I don't know how bold that is. Give me the Cowboys to win this division. Somebody else has got to prove me wrong. I do think Kevin's just got to look. He took a whole Madden off. It's going to take him some time to get back into the groove. I love Kevin to death. Like, he's just the best. Oh, I can't, Bill. I bet you I have links turned off. My bad. Just tell me if it's Twitch and then tell me what the name is, and I'll copy them both and put them in. If it's YouTube, tell me what the name is. Anyway, I love Kevin. It's going to take him some time. And Kev, you just got to show me that your heart's in it. I don't know that Kev's heart's in it. I think he loves us and he loves the OMFL, but I don't know that his heart's in the Madden because it feels like every second of the day he's on PUBG, and that's where his heart's at. And he just kind of does this because he likes us and he wants to be back. So Kev can show me that his heart's in it. He could turn around, bro. Kevin's a very good player, and he's like you. He'll knock the dust off pretty quickly. Rob and the Washington football team, I keep going to that bank and making a deposit. I just believe in the guy, and when he's on, he's on. He just has no quarterback now, and that's going to hurt his team. So I'm going to put him third. I'm going to put Kev last, and give me the Giants and Pepper to be second. I just think his team overall, Madden-wise, is probably the best team. All right, moving to the last one, the NFC West. We got D-Money and the Cardinals, who's already starting his tank mode for season 1 by being gone. It's totally just a joke, man. Please don't take that serious because you make me different. You make me scared. We got 00 and the 49ers. We got Shocks and the Rams. And we got Bill over with the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be D-Money's division the moment he wakes up and decides to make it his division. And he's just one of those guys that just grind everybody into submission. Until that changes, I just don't see it happening. And even when he loses, I'm just I kind of give him one of these did you really lose it, or were you just you gave it to him? That's kind of what I think with D-Money sometimes. So I think D-Money wins this one, and then give me Bill and the Seahawks to be in second place. He's going to win a lot of games. He'll be a wild card team. He'll make it in, and he'll push for this division. He'll make D-Money earn it, but D-Money just another notch above the rest of us. And then, when it comes to the Rams and the 49ers, it's which one of them can get that roster together the quickest. 49ers have some youth. He bought over the cornerback. The Rams don't have youth, but man, they got playmakers. It'll be fun to see those two teams battle out. This could be a super competitive division if the Rams and the 49ers step up their game and make it worth it. I'm going to take the 49ers in third place just because he's my buddy, and the Rams and Sharks. I love you, Sharks. Give him in fourth place. How do you see the NFC West playing out?
Oh, do we really have to talk about this division? I mean, seriously. I mean, I mean, no disrespect to Bill, who just.
I don't mean any disrespect, but I'm going to disrespect all of you right now.
Well, yeah, I mean no disrespect, but here comes some disrespect. Okay, D-Money could literally take off the first 6 weeks of the season, first 6 games, go 0-6, and then come back and still win the division at 11-6. That's how good he is. Yeah. And if he wants to play, this division is his, and I don't care what any of you say. You can all throw hissy fits in there. 49ers, Rams, Seahawks. If D-Money shows up and says, "Hey guys, I'm playing again," he's winning the division. Period. End of story. Yeah. There is no discussion. There's no debate. This is not up for a discussion. If D-Money shows up, it's his division. He is going to win it. If he doesn't show up, Bill will win it, because Bill is good enough to win the division if D-Money's not here. Now, Bill took this upon himself to come here to Seattle. He swapped with me for the Colts. So, Bill, I see you in the chat. This is your fault. You did it to yourself. You could have let me suffer there in the NFC West, but you were nice, and I appreciate that. But you did this to yourself. I do think you're good enough to make a wild card. I do think you're going to win double-digit games. I feel like having played you, I feel like you've got a good offensive and defensive game plan. I mean, to be fair, you played against the most offensively inept player that is probably in the OMFL. My offensive playbook is drawn in with crayons. So, but I think Cardinals, Seahawks, and then I'll coin flip 49ers, Rams, because I love double. I've been around since I've been around the OMFL in its incarnation on consoles. Every time I've been a part of OMFL or grown folks, before it became OMFL again, he's been here, and the poor guy is pretty much right there in the foxhole with me as far as contending for least amount of wins per Madden cycle. So I'm going to say, just because I don't know Shocks that well, but I know he's in that same boat from what I understand, I'm going to put Shocks. I'm going to flip your third and fourth. I'm going to put Shocks third, and I'll put the 49ers fourth. I love you, Double. But yeah, me and you, we'll go have a beer one day when we're competing for who stinks the worst this Madden. You and I can go have a beer together.
He's a tall man. I did meet him a couple years ago, and he's he's probably soft as a teddy bear, but he's a very intimidating man to look at from the outside. Give me your way too early Super Bowl teams and Super Bowl winner. Did that put you on the spot?
Oh, sorry. I had myself muted.
I
started talking
and I realized I did something?
No, that was me. Sorry. I started talking, and then I heard you say something, I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm muted. In the NFC, I'm gonna take Trey. I'm gonna take Trey and the Lions in the NFC. I think D-Money unplugs for the playoffs. I think it's going to be Cowboys Lions in the NFC Championship, and I think
you
Lions
think he beats Cowboys
out
with a 55 overall quarterback.
Oh, Goff starting after this week. I was just making a statement. That was point blank simple.
He had to come in here and say something. Oh my goodness. Okay, well there you have it. So we got the Lions from the NFC. Who's from the AFC?
AFC, I will give this one to. I will take the Chargers. I think it'll come down to Chargers Browns, and Chargers eke it out. It'll be Chargers and Lions in the Super Bowl, or OMFL Bowl, I should say, OMFL Bowl 97. So give me Chargers Lions.
I love those picks because they're not boring, and I'm going to give the boring ones because I'm boring dude. I'm going to go Dallas and the Kansas City Chiefs. until I see those two teams actually struggle. I just think they're the cream of the crop. My one team that I think could surprise everybody would be Nipples and the Ravens. He's done it before. It's just, does life allow him to be plugged in? It's going to be always the biggest question. So there you heard some breaking news on Press Pass Live, because that's what we do here. Jared Goff just won the starting job right here after a 38-17 victory over our guy 00. And 00, I hope that pisses you off, that he made a statement versus you, because a pissed off 00 I think could make some noise, and that would make for a really fun thing here in the OMFL. So there we have it. We got all of our early predictions. That's what Win and I think is going to happen. I can't wait when we come back next time. We'll have a couple games to look at. We'll have a couple like snapshots to look at. We'll be bringing back the OMFL questions for Press Pass Live. We didn't cover them tonight because I knew that the prediction show always takes up a super long time. Win is probably falling asleep as we talk because he's way in bed before now. So I got to get him off to bed. And as we do that, though, I do want to get us back over here. Let me see if I can. What was I doing? Let me see if I can get us back over here. While we put some finishing thoughts on the show, I do want to go ahead and put up, I think it's the Ravens and the Baltimore Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to spit it out. We're going to get it all out there. I want to put that up on
Los
the screen.
Angeles, Oakland Raiders.
Los
Angeles,
the Raiders
Oakland,
from
Las
the
Vegas
West
Raiders.
Coast. The West Coast Raiders. We'll just go with that. Go ahead, Win. Tell me what you see as just an early start to OMFL season 97.
I mean, really, I think right now a lot of teams are trying to get their rosters in order, like trying to get some trades done and synced and underway. I don't know what to expect because again, this is I'm early in this process of kind of learning some guys and learning their tendencies and whatnot. But I do have 13-10 early
and he
or
just
late
scored.
in the second quarter. Yeah, okay. I'm going to be a little bit behind you.
Yeah, he just put
the
the Ravens just scored a touchdown. They're going to go up 17-13, but a good game there in Las Vegas. Coolest stadium in the whole league, I think.
I don't know. I think SoFi Stadium gives it a run.
That's pretty cool too.
That stadium is gorgeous. But as far as like OMFL wise, I think some of my early season predictions, which may fire up some people I shouldn't fire up, I think, but to be fair, at least in one case, it doesn't really affect me that much because it's in the NFC. I think I have a feeling D Money is like literally going to take like a couple of weeks vacation and just kind of let his team go 0-3, 0-4 and just come back in just to embarrass everyone.
Yep.
And I think also, as I said earlier, I think the Chiefs will struggle out the gate and actually closely mimic their real-life counterparts and go 0-3 to start the year. I think they lose to the Ravens, and I think they lose to the Chargers. But I think if that happens and they go 0-3, I think Penguins gets a fire under him, and God help anyone that faces them from there on out. So
I think you 100% can be right here. I think it's going to be a fun year. I think it's going to be that filling out year as we kind of figure out a couple of things and teams start to figure out how this game plays, how their team's built. It looks like the Broncos beat the Giants 20-16 in a really, really good game there. So good for those dudes. This looks like a really good game. And as we sign off, I'll actually just go full screen and just leave this up for just a couple of minutes before we actually go out of here so you can kind of watch this live. But I think the things I'm most excited about is all the like dumb behind the scenes stuff that Wynn's been helping me with and the board's been helping me with. I think we opened up the rules a little bit to give some flexibility, some opportunities to build roster. All the new forums having their own place is going to be awesome for just like the longevity of where we're going and tracking things. I think having a guy like Lost who came in and took over everything to help with like Gold Sheet and fantasy football and Pick'em, like it's just going to be awesome to have those things back. Toilet Bowl is going to be coming back, and And I'm also excited about finally getting this update in a couple of weeks, and exactly how we end up getting there. I think we're doing something unique, and I don't think it's like rocket science. I just think a lot of leagues are waiting to start, and we're not. We're jumping in there, and I think we have a good plan that this isn't a throwaway season. It isn't a waste, and it's still going to feel like it's going to be a little bit different, but it's still going to feel the same. And Heyman threw a plan at the board that if the update comes out, and we're going to give it a couple days, probably a week, so 7 days, 5 to 7 days, and make sure it works and didn't mess anything up. But once it comes out, no matter where we are in the season, to go ahead and get the CFM ready to sim up to the point that we are in this CFM, and then it'll all switch over mid-season. So that is an opportunity that's out there. We do want to make sure that the patch doesn't, classic EA joke, doesn't break something, but we want to make sure
not
that
a joke. It's fact.
it's much better.
It would be a joke. A joke is funny, Nate. This is not funny.
This is not funny. This is no longer funny. But hopefully we can do something like that, and you guys don't feel like this is a throwaway season, because it's not. And I don't know. I'm just really excited about where we are. I think we've done things that are manageable from a board perspective, keep things fair from a league perspective, but open things up for each owner to kind of have that, own feel. And I'm having fun, man. I know comp mode, there's some twisty things. Maniac pointed out he talked to a guy that's a developer over there that did some stuff with us last Madden, who said comp mode is supposed to be a clickable mode, and that's why you have to hold the receiver button, because that's the only way that he'll make a play. On sim mode, he won't do that. But we tested all the modes on sim mode, and it just felt like comp mode was the funnest, best competitive way to go as a league, because it just seemed like the only mode in sim that was playable would have been all Madden, and people just have like guttural reactions when it comes to all Madden. And I agree. Like, I never love how all Madden players play. It just feels like it elevates the floor and squashes the ceiling, and everybody just kind of plays the same, and that's just not fun. I think comp mode, there's some trade-off there, but individual ratings matter. And I like what we're doing so far. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see how it goes, but I hope that you're having fun. I appreciate Win for being on the show. It's a late show, it's a long show, but thank you guys for being back. Thanks Win and the board for filling in all my gaps. And I again cannot express how good it is as a human to be in my own home after a month and do all this. Like, I was so excited to do this. This is just something I look forward to, and this is an escape for me. And we're going to make it better. We're going to be bringing back the hot seat, and we'll be bringing back 5 good minutes with an owner to do some interviews. We're going to figure out how to just keep adding some segments to the show. I know I'm pushing Win to do his own show as Buckman. Buckman is going to be like a draft expert that just, Win goes deep, man. Win gives some really good stats. So I can't wait. I'm excited. I hope you're excited as well. Thank you for hanging out with me. I am now going to shut up, and I'm going to go ahead and just let you guys watch a little bit of this. So I'll leave it on for the rest of the first half, and maybe a drive into the second half, and then I'm going to shut it down and get my old butt to bed. So have a blessed week, guys, this week. Never take for granted where you are, whether it's your home, your family, your relationships, your job. Things can change in just an instant, and it makes you really understand what matters the most. And even though the storm hasn't been fun, it is like a giant reset button on life, and you really understand what is really important to you. And on top of that, I got to do a lot of really great spring cleaning because we had to throw a lot of things away. So that's always a bonus. So thanks to Win, thanks to the board. God bless all of you. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I cannot wait to see you a little later this week as I come on here and do some streaming and do some fun stuff. So until then, God bless you, and we'll see you. Peace.
Jackson, we know all about how dangerous he is running the football, but he can really sling it. for this first half. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
2nd and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
And that one, and even 60 yards in the air. Wow. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 60 yards rushing for now to this point.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Carr, a handoff here to Drake. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Moves to 2nd and goal. At the 5-yard line.
One more time with Jacobs. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. Jacobs. And Jacobs, I don't think he's going to get there, no. It appears they're going to mark him short of the first. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Brings up 4th and goal.
They go with Jacobs. They stop him up short.
You see, this is what happens when you mute it so that you could talk to somebody. I screwed it up. My bad. I was saying, you were watching a live look-in of the Raiders and the Ravens. Ravens defense steps up, stops them on 4 downs to keep them out of the end zone. A really good game there. You should go watch it. JBows3223, whatever it is, go check it out. It's in the Discord. You should give him a like and a follow and do the same for us. We're 148 from our next sub goal. We need your help. Help us get there. Help us blast this out. We're back. I can't wait to be back with you. I've been trying some new things just to kind of change up what we're doing, and hopefully you'll be entertained by them. I cannot wait to play again too and play this for real with good internet. So I'm dead tired. I got a long day tomorrow. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for being here. I'm blown away. Tonight was special, and I'm glad that we're all back and that we're going to be doing this back full time. So have a great rest of your night, guys. God bless you. Till next time. Peace.